There we go. Right, so just cleaning my desk off. I'm running a bit late because I was procrastinating over on mic moans. I am using Firephone mic today, but I do have the headset set up as auxiliary in case you can't hear me. I'm just cleaning off the hair and other bits that's accumulated on here over the week. I'm running late, so you're seeing this on stream. Normally you wouldn't. So we're going to carry on with Lionel Johnson. Words already. Look at that, folks. Words already. So we're going to carry on with Lionel Johnson from the 30k universe, as we lovingly call it, which is still 40k universe. It's just historical 40k universe. It's the Horus Heresy, basically. Right, so we were doing whites and pale colours last week. We're going to have to do much the same again today because it looks like some of the washes didn't stick as much as I'd like. We're going to try and finish assembling him so he's easier to paint in case I've got anywhere else I need to fix on him. It's that guy there. So this is the prime art we're working on. I plan to have him somewhat looking like. So it's this marine here I'm working on at the moment. I haven't got him quite in the same stance. We've got him in a bit more of a stable stance because the glue didn't want to take. So I'm going to be gluing him on in a bit. And not to the base, but other little bits. Make sure he's all together as he needs to be. Because these IKEA instructions make things some occasionally more complicated than they need to be. I mean, they're clear, don't get me wrong. It's just that they tell you leg 1, 2, 3 in a pile of legs. The legs aren't numbered. So it can be a little bit complicated sometimes. So anyway, let's get our music on. Let's get rid of any more hairs that want to fall around anywhere. Oh, and I still can't get my Stream Raiders to work, so we're not having any Stream Raiders today either. I apologise. Spotify, I'm just making sure all my sounds that I need on are on. So I've got the bot alerts, the blurps are on. Some blurps may not be working. This is due to blurps. Right, but I don't have... Good. What on earth is that doing in my Discord overlay? Get out. Apparently I don't have Discord on here. That's okay then. Because I don't plan on jumping into the Discord chat today. Sorry, those of you that may be expecting me to hang out on the Discord chat, but I've got too many things going on. If I'm multitasking, it just slows me down. And I'm behind as it is. Just got something else in the background to sort out. Give me a minute. Okay, that's that done. So I'm going to apologise as well. I've had issues with scammers and scam bots. So I've had to lock our chats down to follower only. I'm sorry, but there is a timer on as well. And you will now need a verified phone number and or email. I'm sorry, but the scammers are just doing my head in. So we want our metallic white, which we'll put here. And I'm already losing my voice, sorry. This one is, if I'm not mistaken, bone white. Good. Yep, we need that one. I'll put that up there. We should have off-white. Yep. Put that over there. If I can get it out of the bottle. This one's a particularly thick paint. I'm so glad I'm using wet palette. There we go. Comes out like tomato ketchup. This one should be dead white. Yep. So blues and greens. Well, we've got a new green, so I don't have to keep mixing it. Our Dark Angels green arrived yesterday. If you were watching the vid that no, sorry, Monday. Arrived Monday. I did a vid of the day and uploaded it the same day. Oh, I will have to show you at some point the paint job I did on my Warhammer game. You can do. We have an arts and crafts section where you can show that stuff off. Now, because I've been having trouble with the Games Workshop models, I'm going to give their plastic glue a try, because as I understand it, it has a bit of a different formula to most contact cements. So we'll see how that goes. Right, so we've got this little guy, and he needs a wash down. So where's our little brush? The small wash down's gone. It's up here somewhere. There it is. Right, so now it's time to put my modelling specs on and throw extra light at the models. And sort my glove out so I can actually feel the ends of my fingers. Not going to get far without my magic sponge. Just get this brush a little bit wet, because we're not dry brushing. Right, and we want off-white. Simply because the bones are still a little bit, well, blue from the base coat we did on him. I do plan my stream to go until about 5 o'clock. However, this will depend on my hands. If they start shaking or cramping, I will have to call the stream off shorter. Sorry, I'm just going to move the microphone because I am hitting it at the moment. Hopefully you can still hear me up there. I'm actually going to need reds for him. Okay. Don't mind it when I have to do that. And there goes the blue. My brush sprayed at just the wrong point, and now I've got white on my blue. Alas, such is my luck. And it did it again. Alas, such is my luck again. Okay, he can go away over there for now. And I'll fix him later. Ow. And that was a headphone hitting my head. Ooh. Well, that paint went better than I expected. I think we're ready to give that a wash down. That's one side. You can get some Nuln oil later. Oh no, I've gone for Nuln oil. Bits I don't need safe in their boxes. Right, we will deal with him first. Cloak can go over there for a minute. Those can go over there for a moment. We will get around to them. Just bits at a time. I plan to start gluing him together a bit today. Hopefully. These are not... Hang on a minute, I just need to check my playlist. It is still... Yeah, that's okay then. Just sounded a bit Skyrim-y for a minute there. I've got nothing against Skyrim music or some of the Skyrim themed musics. Just, you know, can't play them on a stream that's possibly destined to be uploaded to YouTube so that people can back watch it later. If they so choose to. I can completely understand not wanting to also. It's also kind of a documentation that, hey, we are actually painting these, you know. It's... I've got you and Mike open, and I'm meant to be doing my homework. Lol. Really? Get off my glove. Now that paint's gone and dried on the brush. Trouble with some of these paints.
Dry quickly, don't they?
They dry very, very quickly once they're off the wet palette.
Speed paint.
I mean, it does give a whole new name to speed paint. Yes, Ojin. The whole speed paint thing is it's actually another way of saying ink washing. And I actually do come from that era of painting minis. I'm probably second, maybe third generation of the old ink wash generation. Because it actually comes from the generation well before I was born. Where they would ink wash their army models. And I'm talking, you know, British Army, German Army, reenactment models of toy soldiers and whatnot. For similar, I suppose in a sense, war games, but they were more war simulation games. Teach strategy. It's a shame this camera of mine, Zoom, no longer works properly. It's very annoying. It used to focus in, but whatever they did in the software update took away its zoom. And it's the same with AutoCam. It's supposed to be a 1080p cam. Now it thinks it's a 780. won't paint around there just yet, because I've got to link it to the rest of the cloak. So we've highlighted those lines a little bit so they stand out nicely. Let's put that there. Let's find the rest of his tabard. Make sure we get this the right way round. Yeah. So glad I keep a pair of pliers on hand. Credit there, Games Workshop. That is secure. Kudos to that. That's definitely childproof. No. All the places I know it makes contact. Put that over there a minute before it causes damage somewhere. And I'll gently come in with some green stuff. Yeah, that's going to need some green stuff. Although that said, I think that might be... It's going to be hidden by his backpack and whatnot, isn't it? So we don't have to worry too much there then. Except that it's not sticking properly. That's a problem. Okay. Come on, Lion, put your tabard on. We want to start painting you up to your full glory. Right, so put him over there to dry for a minute. We don't want to be handling him too much while he's doing that. Quick sip of tea in my special jug, so you know I am hydrating. In fact, that's louder. What's louder? The mic. The tin soldiers, keep up to date with... okay, I'm reading Botrix now. Yes, the tin and lead soldiers from the ye olde days. Before we understood that either of these metals was actually toxic to our health. Go figure. Right, we need to highlight our shiny silk cloak. So, where did I just put my hair brushes? There they are. Just like I did with the green side last week. He knows now. Ooh. Despite my best scrubbings, there appears to be some releasing agent hiding here. I find that pretty amazing. The rest of the paint's stuck, but this is struggling. Interesting. Maybe it's something in the wash. Put my finger over that this time. Sorry, I'm painting this, trying to get it into the light, and I'm completely forgetting where the camera's put. I'm going to need a new 3.0 soon. So it's starting to spread out.
Black gold's now as well.
Over there for a minute. Dry off now. Is that part of his scabbard? Tabard, sorry, not his scabbard. Scabbard belongs to his sword, not his clothing. And here we go with the phone calls again. Right, does everyone wait till I'm streaming before they call or something?
New follower.
Hi, Greg. Yeah.
Hi, WNSGH4020. Thanks for the follow. I apologise, but due to the problem we've had with spammers, scammers and bots, we've had to implement some mod things to it, to our chat. think I fixed my seats low, and it's a gold and a half, eh? Kilo? Use your words, please.
Make proper sense. Yes.
That's a gold and a half on the paint. Nope. It's pearlescent white and off-white. The cloak is actually a creamy white on the inside. It kind of looks gold on my camera, I suppose. Right, let's have a look at how Lionel is doing. So we're not going to do much better with the Citadel glue either then. Okay. Right. Where's my green stuff? And brush horrible jobs. Where have you got them to? There you are. It might be a bit big. Okay, time to go into the toolbox and find other retired brushes. Yep, I keep brushes until they are no longer useful. That's just to try and paint this on and get it to sculpt at the same time so it sets like it too is material or part of the model, making it a lot easier to paint in. It's matching the ruffled look at the back. The thing you think is gold is this. It's fairy dust from Army Painter. It's a pearlescent white. The colour you're seeing it on here is more accurate than the colour you're seeing it on the cloak. The cloak is actually this colour. It's cream colour up top here. But it's been washed down with the Seraphim Sepia, which gives it a brown colour. Then I've highlighted up with off-white, followed by this dread bone white here. Then I've highlighted again with fairy dust, and then I've mixed these two together to form an even lighter sort of silk colour with the white. Right, since we're going to be gluing these bits together now, Let's see how we can attach him properly. Once I found where I put the glue. Move that out of the way for a minute. In a way that the paints won't run all over the place and give me paint gravy. So it'll allow me to properly highlight him.
Show off that detail.
We'll work out which way around this one goes. I mean, let's glue on the other bits first. Oh, so it goes on like that, does it? Okay. So that, got this right, attaches like that. Hello, cat lump. So I've got a cat that's just coming absolutely soggified. She's got this thing for sitting in the rain. So that bit's actually supposed to reach his belt, but because of how it came off, it's not going to do that. Fine. We will come in with the green stuff and reinvent that later. We'll just let him sit and dry for now. He's probably going to be drying for about 24 hours now. And I've still got to do those bits, but I think we'll glue little bits on at a time. Let it stabilise. So, turn of the palette. Let's get on with our other little whites that we need to deal with. Let's deal with this one first. Yeah, it's toned up a little so I can Seraphim Sepia wash those in a bit. Need my bigger brush again. Yeah. Maybe she's having a shout. No, no. What it is she likes to go outside. She sits in the rain until she's completely soaked. And then she wants me to chase her around the house with the towel. And then, only at her own decision, will she let me dry her. It's a game, so I'm trying not to indulge in it at the moment. Because she will do it every 15 minutes otherwise. Come on. Yep. Just had to cut some splayed off damaged hairs there. They're so bad now that they're just splaying everywhere and splashing paint where I don't want it. This gives my brush at least a few more uses before I have to succumb to actually pulling out one of the new brushes. Air bubble in this skull eye now. blob of dry paint. Come here. kind of Metallica pearl white. It's a metallic pearl white, yes. Which is why I have 2 pots of paint. Right there. One with bubbles, one without. See, one with washing up liquid in just the teeniest little bit. It puts bubbles on top, which creates surface tension, which gets the metallic flecks off of your brush so it doesn't contaminate paints you don't want it to contaminate. Without having to go to extremes. Ah, good. The glue is setting. This green stuff's going to be another couple of hours, so he probably will not be ready to repaint now until post-stream. I actually need to crack out the gold. He can go over there and his whites can dry. This one's not fine enough. Where's my super fine one? There it is. My 0.4. Ow. There was a camera there, apparently. On the brush, what's going on? I was wondering what's causing the problem. It's this thing. It's catching on everything because I can't push it all the way to the back of the cam.
Oh, the lens cover.
So I apologise for the camera quakes, but my magnifying headset keeps catching on the camera cover. Unfortunately, it is fully attached to the camera, so I cannot simply remove it. Would be nice if I could. Just because I've hit it, it's taken things out of shot again. Yep. It's the gold highlights of his cloak on, at least. The superfine brush dry off. I'll need one of my more coarser brushes. Not the one. A bit more coarse than the one. Now there we go. The 4. So we're now going to be playing with some Cantor Blue from Citadel. Quick drink because my voice is going again.
Doesn't need refilling.
Actually, before I do that, where's my other dry brush? There it is. Right. A bunch of cat hair come from nowhere and settle on everything. It's just a slight rough blue wash down to go over their already dark blue. Where I start bringing out the tones and highlights in it. Let me get on with the highlighting, toning, and all the other bits that I need to fix, like the blue that's got onto the grey here now. I actually think Citadel / Games Workshop / Forge World might have been better to have had these Marines completely independent of the base and then us glue them on properly so that we could put them in a different arrangement for the dioramas. Something to consider for the future, perhaps. That's not to say that this model's bad, because, well, it's far from bad. Very far from bad. Just an idea. Better. Do the same to him now. After all, he is one of them. He's just the only living one on the board. And apparently the only one on the board who maintains his armour so that when he's shot it doesn't get him, well, ended. As quickly, I suppose.
His last one will die around it.
We actually need to go a little bit thicker there because that's where the brush splayed and the white went where I didn't want it to. It is the same tone of blue, it's just that when you wash it down a bit, it goes a bit paler. So it ends up toning it up. Or, yeah, well, toning it up. Which is, of course, exactly what I want. I obviously don't want him ultramarine blue. I mean, as much as I love the Space Marines, I find their blue very boring. I'm also not a fan of salamanders and blood angels for the same reasons, actually. So it's not a legional hate. I just, you know, have my colour preferences. When I'm colouring the same shade of blue repeatedly, it gets a bit tiresome. I haven't even moved these past their base coat. Oh my goodness. Right. It's still a bit shiny. Yeah. Where are those heads? I know we've got some heads here somewhere.
Nope, that's
No,
arms.
that is the head.
Yeah.
That's a leg. A runaway head, I think, or an
Yeah,
arm.
it might have come off one of these, look. It's one head that's been cut in half, look.
There's a couple of heads that have been massacred.
Sliced by him. In it.
Yep. Thin that out a bit. We don't want it eating detail. I was wondering if it is just simply easier for me to paint them while they're still on the sprues, assemble them, then fix in the green stuff and then paint over that. Because there is detail on a lot of these models that you just cannot get to once they're assembled. And this is the only real logical way to get at it. I mean, there's other techniques that would involve sticking them on little pins and stuff. But the only way to get to a lot of the detail is to keep them separate from each other, but at the same time, that will cause problems. So be aware of where your joins are. Don't spend too much painting around those join points, because you're going to be fixing them with green stuff and glue. Not necessarily in that order. And I developed this method, I think, sometime back in 2011, where I spray them on their sprues and get the base coats done after they've had their wash. If there's any more bits that need blue. Blue can go away again now. Brings them up to a uniform tone now. Say that, and then I discover bits that need blue. And hold the bits that don't need painting, because they will be glued. There's too much water in the paint, so we'll let that dry for a minute and then we'll come back and paint him. I'm not entirely sure why I painted that blue. That is a head. Getting out the silver later, maybe, or next week, maybe. We shall see. Just need to test something. I realised I didn't test it earlier today after I banned the bot. Right, yes, that is working over there. Okay. I have heightened securities against bots in general. Except bots I've got in place myself. But, yeah. Sadly, because of bots and scammers, and I'm talking, you know, the type that appear in chat and run advertisement scams. Oh, I'm a graphics designer. Would you like to see my art? And I have told them, I don't know how many times, no. And then they proceed to show you art on your Discord and what have you. And it's AI generated art or art they have stolen from other artists, and it really annoys me. And now there's the ones that are mirroring people's streams as well, pretending to be someone else's stream and siphoning off their money. Now, I ask all of you guys to donate to charity, not to me. I also don't solicit you via other sites, so I won't ever solicit you on my YouTubes or anywhere else. I will always put my link in the descriptions and in the about sections and ask you to check those out and so on. But I will not DM you randomly out of the blue from any network that I'm part of. Not unless I have a reason to, and it tends to be a good reason. Either because I am actually, you know, sending you something, in which case I will probably tell you in the general chat of that community first anyway. And I'm not then going to try and introduce you to a graphics designer or a promoter or try to sell you something. The sales sites for that. That's what they're there for. I don't need to beg and bug you. And I certainly don't need to harass you. So if someone is asking, oh, come check out my Discord, come check out my streams from Discord, that is most definitely not me. I mean, if we're friends, I am likely to go, hey, I'm going live in a minute on here. But that's mostly because I'm trying to tell you, hey, I'm going live. Please don't bother me. Unless you want to bother me in stream, which is, you know, a whole other matter onto yourselves. But I will not be asking you to follow my stream or to subscribe to my stream. At the current way I am at the moment, I will not be asking people to subscribe. At least not yet. Not till I've got legal stuff sorted. So yeah, be on the watch. And if you're not sure if it's me or not, please feel free to ask me at times. I get the Lone Wolf Discord notice. Yes, because I actually have a stream feed in the Lone Wolf Discord. Where people can optionally mute it if they so wish. I try and keep everything in that one little chat. And it doesn't just notify about my stream, it notifies about other users' streams or other people that are indirectly connected to us streams, like Shep and Mike Moans. And I say indirectly in that they're not officially a part of the major thing, but they're sort of loosely connected as friends. So yeah, please be on the watch for these scammers and scumbags. I don't brook them. And if you are getting one, please tell me so I can ban their behinds. And also don't forget to report them to the relevant places. Anyone that knows me knows I have very few pet peeves in life. Outside of animal cruelty, child abuse, bullying, hate crimes against disabled and people of various ethnic minority, well, ethnic origins of any kind, actually. So diorama's going well. But one thing I do not brook is scammers. I absolutely despise scammers. They are the lowest of the low. I think don't need to add any more green stuff anywhere. It slots in nicely. So he can do his diorama, or he can play with his base. Probably have to put magnets on it. But eventually he will go on there. He's on a temporary base at the moment. So he's on this rubbish little plastic base right now, but that is his actual base. Let's crack out the silver. Where is it? Here, gunmetal. That's not quite the gunmetal I'm looking for. Well, let's go on with my Seraphim Sepia. Better. Look like cafe latte. It's in black. No, I've got another silver in here. Oh, that a wash? It's a base.
Yes, Mechanicus Grey. Yeah, it's a base colour. It's meant to be used on swords, bolt guns, backpacks, you know, the power vents.
Yeah, well, I'm on the power vents now, and I actually need gunmetal.
Okay.
Right. Also, not gunmetal. If I put it in a different box, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I said box. It's in a plastic bag. It's some box that is. I do need to sort these out into their own little box, actually. Right, I think it's in a different container. I do know where I do have something akin to gunmetal. Where is it?
It might be in here. In this one.
No, that one's dried.
Oh, okay.
That's black. Tainted gold. I'm not seeing a silver in this lot. Blue. Oh, duh, I'm looking in the wrong pack, that's why. I'm looking in the Army Painter. I should be looking in the Valeggio set. One gunmetal. I'll get there eventually.
It's because there's so many different paints. It's so easy to get lost.
I'm going to take it. The cat wanted food because I can smell it a mile away. And to think, a week ago that their cat was feral. Now she's getting into the finer tastes of things. And that includes fish flake upon one's foods. I'm not eating that until you put them fish flakes on it. But that's for fish. I don't care. I want them fish flakes.
Use the house tool, put a pinch of it on.
If it's not fish flakes, she's completely addicted to yeast flakes at the moment. It's like, no, cat, you're not supposed to have more than a spoonful. Not the whole tin. I don't care. I want the whole tin. Brush to one side for a minute because it's starting to splay. Bear with me, more camera shaking going on. I'm putting you a little bit higher so there's more of the desk in shot and I headbutt it a little less.
Getting a headache. You want a headbanging?
Well, I can't use Opera in stream anymore, lol. Well, I did kind of tell you this like a week ago. That Opera is great for most things. It's great for watching, but interacting or anything else, not so good. And I say that because Opera has this wonderful picture-in-picture mode. I have Ghostbuster sounds. On what? Because I certainly don't have any playing on my stream.
She's got the game up in the background.
Then you mute the sounds in your system sounds. That's what I do. Failing that, in a couple of hours after stream, I'll have some time to have a look at your OBS. I say a couple of hours after stream because after stream I've got to clean up, then I've got to cook dinner, then I've got to eat dinner, and then I will have time. See, there's a trick to having background sounds. So your computer acts as normal, but people on your stream can't hear it. And it's part of turning off desktop sounds. So that only applications you want to be heard on stream can be heard on stream. Whose tiny teeny sword is this?
Is it like a broken sword?
No, it's a tiny teeny dagger.
It might be on the marina's face again.
That's what I'm looking at. Whose is it? You'd think it was on the construction manual somewhere.
Can we have a look? Ah, there. That tiny dagger there.
There it is. It's his.
Yeah, it's
So,
just there.
what colour is it supposed to be then? Black. Okay. We're halfway there then. I will probably take that off and then colour it down from there so it can stay there for now. And then what I will do is I'll carefully cut that off because there's some weird fleck on it that I don't want to paint. I want to get in and clean that up so that I'll get painted before I attach it to him. You're oh wowing something in the corner of my hearing.
Yeah, Northwest Fig's got 18 GeForce 490 graphics cards. Cracked motherboards. 18.
Oof. He has how many watts? I heard 49.
4090 graphics cards. 18.
4090. So he's got 18 4090 graphics cards from GeForce. Every single one with cracked motherboards.
Founders Edition. So even more expensive than normal.
So again, GeForce are making graphics cards that are so heavy that they're cracking both the PC motherboards and the motherboards of the graphics cards themselves, because you have to put these supports in before you can even use the graphics cards. You really can't fix stupidity. And I mean that on both ends, because users need to read the manuals before you install them. And graphics card designers, you need to think ahead. It's not just nerds that implant these into their computers, you know.
mounted pins.
And melted pins on top. Is that the power pins by any
That
chance?
slot into the pins that slot into the motherboard.
Oh, fun. So they also overheat where you plug them into the PSI slot. Oh my goodness. And people wonder why I'm refusing to get a current generation graphics card. That's why, people. I am not going to save up nearly £2,000 plus to buy a graphics card that's just going to crack and melt on me. Hard pass.
Oh wow.
Yes, I know. But that doesn't stop the power pins where you plug in your power supply and the part where it plugs into your PSI port on your motherboard from melting. Just hard pass. I'm not spending that much money on a graphics card that's going to implode my computer.
Yeah, this is the standard editions. Do you remember the 490s he had last week? A week ago.
I remember,
19 of them.
yeah. Do you want to drop into my thing and drop in the link to that video so people can see what we're talking about?
Yeah. What, to the chat?
Yeah, just drop it into my Twitch chat. I mean, with you being a mod, you should be allowed to post links.
Yeah, done it.
So there you go. Ojin's posted up the link. Have a gander at that. And you'll see what I mean. This is why I will not buy the current gen graphics cards. You know, user error and cracking the motherboard is one thing. And even then, when some people have installed the supports, they've still cracked the motherboards because they're just too heavy for the computer motherboards. So it's not just the GPU motherboard that goes, which is a bad thing in and of itself anyway. But they'll take the motherboard of the actual PC itself with them as well. So those are actually a bronze colour. That's a skin colour. Okay. Anywhere else he's got silver? Nope. Right. No, don't fall on your backpack. We just painted that. Ow! Now I'm headbutting the microphone. Chain only needed a quick highlight. Yep, Keela's posted up another one. Right, anyone else got a black backpack or somewhere else I need to paint silver? It makes me want to play some Warhammer 40k actually, and I mean the video game, Space Marine.
Titus.
We run around as Captain Titus. I'm not even sure how that got in there, but that was the tiniest bit of fleck. It's here somewhere. I literally had it in my hands. There it is. Time to use some Dark Angel's green.
Oh, new one. I got.
Darkens his green bits. Proper wash brush now. Where's it got to? There it is. Ah. Wash brush does not want to play ball at all. So I'm doing this a little bit off camera at the moment. Just to get the very best light, and I can't get the camera into that angle, unfortunately. Because I wasn't expecting this with the shades, because they're actually a type of wash. It actually ended up being a little bit thick on the cloak, so I'm just blending it. There we go. Still see where it's been a bit thick at the bottom and dried a bit too quickly. Unfortunately, it dried so quickly I didn't get a chance to blend it the way I wanted. I was not expecting that, unfortunately. But now I know about this particular shade and how it likes to dry very quickly. It means I just have to work a bit quicker with it.
Eternal speed painting.
Ooh. That cloak dry now, so hopefully that will get into the areas I want it to be rather darkened. I'm so glad I closed that. Oh. Otherwise I'd now be very green. That's glued really well, but that didn't. Alright. Okay, let's get that cleaned up and glued again. No! No! We'll clean this one now as well. Alas. Right. Let's try that again. Oh, fun. Much fun. Where did that thing go? There it is. Well, I am aware I'm going to have to repaint you, so get on with it. Oh, for... that over there before I accidentally drop the model in it or something. Come on, Lionel, get dressed. Goes again. Come on, are you a playboy like Lancel? No? Right. Get dressed. That's not getting dressed, Lionel. Try some contact cement on him instead. Mm. Right, please keep your clothes on, Lionel. Well, that cloak's not dried too bad in the end. That's alright. Looking at that with my eyes. It's taken out the stark green that was originally highlighting and turned it into a nice deep green. So now it's kind of more like the Mirkwood cloaks in Lord of the Rings in colour. I don't know what... Well, it's brighter on camera, let's put it that way. It's actually almost black green to the naked eye.
It suits that it's fact that he comes from a forested planet.
Well, I was keeping in mind that the Dark Angels are from Caliban, Ojin. Yeah. And everything in their coloration is, well, dark green, almost black.
I don't like how bright they are in 40k, to be honest, coming from Caliban. They're too...
Well, in here, I mean, I'm looking at him on here, they've done him a grey. And all of the Dark Angels I've seen so far have been grey. It's like, no, they're a dark green. Why are you painting them grey? They're not Grey Knights. Why are they grey? They're not the Emperor's guard. Why are they almost grey? They should be dark green, almost black. How exactly does that hang on his back? Ah, it goes over his cloak. Right. And then his backpack goes in the hole. Okay. That's going to be fun. Trying to get him to keep his clothes on at the moment is a nightmare. He's already taken his tabard off. Or he's trying to. Oh. Stay.
Saying a word.
The only reason I haven't done his side bits to his cloak yet is because, well, his cloak.
It's got a lot of detail as well.
So I'm doing this bit here. Stage 1 and 2. I haven't done these bits because this bit doesn't want to stay stuck. When that bit's stuck, then I'll deal with that. And here it's got his tabard going slightly higher up, but because of, for whatever reason, it didn't want to fit like that, so it's fit down here for me along his belt. Now it could be that it's just got warped with heat. It's not entirely implausible, but it's just, you know, it's connected like that. That's just how it wanted to connect, rather than being up here somewhere across the wings. It wanted to come down here, so rather than try and fight it and break the model, it's adjusts to how it's wanted to go. And then when he's properly glued and keeping his clothes on, I can start dealing with his detail. No. Bad. So that is supposed to go over like that. When it's on him, obviously. Just want to make sure that the hairs are slightly different, but yet similar colours. And they'd appear to be. I think I need to fix his claws because it's gone green there. Right, let's move those out of the way. Literally just finished highlighting this, and now I've got to do it again because it got caught in the green. I should have seen that earlier.
That reminds me of Marduk as well. With leather.
Don't even get me started on Maddock. That thing wants to projectile himself out of windows.
He's in a box at the moment.
He's securely in a box for now. And he shall stay there until he is played upon a table.
And then he'll probably.
And then he'll probably propel across the room. Thing is a trigger object to weird things.
Yeah. Melted base flying off the desk.
I mean, anyone that really knows my history knows that once upon a time, back in the early 2000s, I was part of a paranormal investigation team with my 3 older sisters. And they used to use me as bait because I was much younger than them, and they were running with the theory that teenage girls, because I was sort of on the latter end of my teens at that point, were good bait for ghosts. Truth is, I've always been bait for ghosts. My age has never mattered. I just seem to like causing trouble wherever I am. So I'm used to it at this point. So no, ghosts do not scare me. In fact, ghosts are scared of me these days. And that's just the way I like it. I just wish they'd leave my minis alone while I'm trying to paint them. At least wait until they're out of my care before they destroy my stuff. Inconsiderate creatures, whatever they be them spirits of the dead, demons, or whatever you want to call them. Even went as far as to give him teeth. Really? I mean, I've still got to paint in his stash yet, but still, really? Teeth. can come back at his eyes at a later time. Yeah, sorry, it's because I'm not right next to the mic all of the time. I'm having to move around to get the best angles on these models because I'm doing the really tiny bits. Where's that blue gone? No, all I got to do is face paint again. His eyes will at least now be painted in colour. This from sepia. Done that one. That one out of the way now. The water's got a greeny blue. Okay, I need a better wash brush than that for this job. Actually need a soft one. Ah, there we go. Paint again later.
Tab art's looking really nice.
Don't jinx me. Please don't jinx me. It's fallen off 6 times so far. These 2 brushes can have a soak in water now. Because we're now at a point where I can't do anything else because everything is drying. Ugh. Put that on charge. Helps if I can see what I'm doing. Thank you, OBS. Okay. So, that's it for today at least. Just on the grounds that I've got a lot that I need to get on with today. I'm probably going to have to do some catch-up painting on Lionel Johnson because of what happened with him and his tabard earlier. It's taken some of the paint off with the glue, so I'm going to have to do a bit off stream on him to fix him up over the next few days, I think. But I will be back next week, I think. I say I think because real life has a habit of getting in the way of everything. Just put my wet palette out of the way. So basically I plan to be here on Wednesday next week again. Just, you know, painting more, probably more Lionel Johnson. I do plan to get around to some bases as well at some point. But they don't seem to want to get painted. Because every time I go to do something, something goes wrong with Lionel. And he's not terribly, you know, and I don't mean wrong as in wrong with the model. I mean wrong as in things just don't want to behave. He's still nowhere near as bad as Maddock. Maddock was blooming awful. Every time I did something, got him finished, he broke. There's no winning with Maddock. Let's start putting all of these in the one same dust-free box, I think. Right. Small bits in that. It's easier if the small bits are in one place and the big bits are in another. So if we can lie Lionel down in there, and then you can dry in peace. Hopefully not get covered in cat fluff. Right. Get my paints away now. Make sure they are sealed. So, yeah. Okay, so. Unfortunately, due to bots, we've had to implement some new securities to the channel. I apologise those of you that feel like we're picking on you. We're not. It's not your fault that bots, scammers, and the low-life scum of the internet have decided that they're going to come in here and try and solicit you to try and buy their art. They're not real artists at all. They're using AI generated stuff that you can get for free, even if you use Google to get it. And when they're not doing that, they're actually stealing the art of real artists and trying to sell it to you for a picture, for example, that would cost you, I don't know, let's take my artist into account. She would charge you $1 something for a particular logo she's made, although she would ask that she gets to sell it on her Etsy site, which is fine, unless it's exclusive, in which she will ask a bit more. But she asks you to approach her, for example. Generally, artists do this. They have their own websites up with their own stuff and what you need for the permissions and so forth to use it on these platforms. And they will expect you to come to them. That's just how it works. It's like if you go to the supermarket, you don't expect the supermarket to come to your doorstep and tell you to buy everything at 5 times the price. Nor do you expect the supermarket to steal someone's stuff and then come to your doorstep and sell it to you for 5 times the price. What these people are just the vilest scammers that I've come across in quite some time, and I've come across some foul ones in my time. And what they're doing is they are stealing people's art and selling it on to you at 5 times the price they're charging on their own sites. These scammers are then attacking the artists. So it's the artists that come under attack from the systems that are supposed to protect them. Basically, they're reporting them falsely, so that the scammer becomes the source of the art after they've just made the artist of the art they've just stolen bankrupt and so forth. It's not on. I don't support these vile people, so we've had to put some protections on our channels for now, to at least slow them down for a while, because they were coming into our chat, soliciting, sending you their fake IDs that they've made for the day, to get you to talk to them so they can scam you out of money. And you're not the only victim in this instance. It's also the artists that they're stealing from. And it's so that they can steal your payment information and completely wipe out your bank accounts or whatever you use to store your money. I don't brook this. I'm never going to brook this. And if you do know of them, send them on to Kitboga and various other high-profile scam baiters who have things set up to get rid of these vile people. And to scammers, if you're listening to this, get a life. Get a proper job. How would you like it if I went to your grandma and took her life savings and then stole all your life savings and left you bankrupt to live on the streets? That's what you need to think and ask yourself. How would you like it if it was done to you? So don't come onto my sites, to my streams, the platforms I use. I don't brook you. I hate bullies, scammers, and abusers of all kinds. So you're just wasting your time coming here. So these securities that I have had put on for now, there's, we have what's called follow bots. Yeah, okay, I don't mind the follow. But if you're going to be posting, you're going to have to wait for a while, I'm afraid. There is a nice long timer on. And I say nice long in the sarcastic irony I can possibly mean it in. To ensure that you're not some bot, I'm afraid. I'm also going to have to ask you to have verified email addresses and phone numbers if this keeps up. It's already at that level now. Certain people will be exempt from it because I know who you are and I have added you to the exemption list. So, yeah, from now on you're going to need verified emails and verified phone numbers, and your account's going to have to be a set amount of time old before you can chat in my chat from now on. It's going to be the only way to keep these scammers down. I say down because, they eventually sidestep protections and we have to integrate new ones. And, well, Twitch will explain it in there, how to get rid of these people type things. I'm not happy at having to do this. I had open, but we're going to get people that's going to come in and spoil the fun. And unfortunately, it's been scammers. They've been posting up stuff I really don't want all over the place. I'm not happy with it. I want this to be a fun and welcoming place, and unfortunately, scammers are ruining it for everyone. And I'm sorry I've had to implement these securities to my regular followers, and it would be actual, real new followers, because a few vile people in the world have decided that they're going to try and use me to carry out their scams, and I'm just not going to brook it. I'd rather keep you safe and take the risk of losing a few potential new followers over letting them run rampant and possibly ruining your lives. I just don't brook scammers at all. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. So, back to me disappearing for now. I will be back here painting on Wednesday, roughly 2 o'clock UK time, hopefully, unless real life circumstances take up, in which case keep an eye on the Lone Wolf Clan Discord announcement channel, as well as our Facebook and Twitter, because I do try and keep things up to date. Mostly, though, I would say watch our Discord announcement, because I can get that to my phone pretty quickly and just say, look, right, sorry, I'm not going to be on for XYZ reason. If I even have a reason, it might just be I have to say that RL stuff has gone crazy right now. Sometimes I will give you a reason. If it's too personal, I won't. Or if it's too crazy to type up, I'll just tell you later if you ask. It depends on the circumstance. So I plan to be back next Wednesday, 2 o'clock UK time, painting some more Lionel Johnson and bits. Friday, I plan to be on for Friday Night Frights, which is around 8 o'clock, which will be here and YouTube. Keela will also be co-hosting Friday Night Frights. He will be taking over YouTube and his Kick. I will be doing Twitch and probably Kick. We will see. Then for the weekend, because I'm on a stream challenge, I will be playing more Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And the aim is to try and complete that in weekend streams, because that's the challenge. And yes, if Kick works as well. Kick has been spending a lot of time down recently, at least in the UK. I think it's just server outages. I'm going to have a look, see if there's someone I can raid out to now, actually. I don't think I've got enough people over on Kick to host out. So let's have a look on Twitch, because we can go with just one person. Who to raid? Let's have a look, see. Who's online for me? Oh, there's Brozerker. Let's take you over to Brozerker. He's another fantastic dude. He's painting orcs today. He's also been doing some Dark Angels, but he is doing orcs today. So let's have a look. Manage stream protection, ads break. No, I don't want to run an ad break. I hate ads. Draw, gaming prime benefits. Where have they put it now? We used to have a raid button. I guess I'm typing it in manually then. Okay. So if you can jump on the raid, that'd be great. I'm just going to go check Kick now, see if it's worth hosting out. Don't think it is. No, it's not. Right. So there's no point hosting out on Kick because I don't have enough followers to host out, which is a real shame because there's some cool people on right now and I would have taken you over to Warai. So if you're on my Kick, please go over to this user. I will put out his link now. So please drop by and I will see you tomorrow.